is Marianah Lourens met Kuns in Vermaak, Art and Entertainment with Marianah Lourens. And I am here in the Savoy Theatre. And it is the foyer, and everyone around us are obliging by being very quiet. And I'm so thankful for that because I've got some amazing guests here from the USA. What I see here is it's the production of Oklahoma, which we all know so well. We grew up with it, as oldies even, as grannies. Hi, Gail. And it's with singers, instrumentalists and actors from Nelson Mandela University in Gqeberha, here in South Africa. And they are from Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, USA. I am so thrilled that we can collaborate here in little Gqeberha. Don't know if you can say that.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Oh, you're doing so well.
She has the click. I don't have the click.
And they're different clicks, of course. Yes. You know that.
I've heard this. Yeah.
All of those.
Yeah.
But we won't go there now because we have got to discuss about how it came that you guys are here. Because let me start with you, Gail. Gail Pennington Crutchfield.
Yes.
She's the founding director of Shuffles, and that, of course, quite belies an amazing choreographer of all genres, which I noticed on the stage here. But Broadway Tap and Musical Theatre School in New York
Yes,
City.
it's my 30th year.
She's been a busy lady, busy granny, she told me as well. And it's exciting being a granny and still being busy.
Yes, I love it.
And you hold a BFA from Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas.
I do,
And
in
of course
dance.
it is in Dallas.
In Dallas. The BFA is in dance.
Yes.
And SMU's in Dallas.
And everything is in Dallas.
Yes.
Yes, and as the lady who spoke last night, Barbara,
Professor Barbara
Barbara, she said last night, the stage will be full of people, not one from Dallas.
Some are from Dallas.
Some are from Dallas,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
mostly not.
A lot of the students that are from SMU are not from Texas, so they come to school in
They're
Dallas.
at the university, but
Of course.
they're from other places.
That's, of course, what happens everywhere,
Yes.
the world over. They come from
Yes.
elsewhere to
Exactly.
another university. And that was Buddy Crutchfield. And he enjoyed collaborating with favorite choreographer Gail Pennington Crutchfield now
Yes.
on his off-Broadway directing debut. That was your debut. Freckle-Faced Strawberry. And regional directing includes 1940s Radio Hour, Forever Played, complete works of William Shakespeare, Bridge, and the lists go on for both of you. So who wants to elaborate here on how this adventure came about?
We both graduated from SMU in Dallas and then moved to New York and started working immediately as actors. And Gail has done 6 Broadway shows. One of them we did together. And we have 2 children who are now adults, and we have 2 grandchildren. But it was that we were young working actors, and we moved right after graduation to New York City and started working. And then got married a year later, and we were working a lot in and out of the city and on Broadway and at Radio City and touring the country. And then we had kids, and we raised our children in New York City. And part of raising the kids was Gail had the idea and started Shuffles, Broadway Tap and Musical Theatre School, which then, as our children were growing, grew and grew and grew and grew. And so I think, what we're most proud of is that it's become like one of the leading institutions in the city and maybe the country for kids who want to pursue musical theater. So they become, many of them, extraordinarily proficient tap dancers, but they're also good actors and singers.
Yeah.
So we've stayed in the business by morphing, going from being actors primarily to producers, directors, choreographers, and keeping ourselves in the business of musical theater.
So I can see why he married Gail Pennington. She is absolutely beautiful. I wish you could see her.
Oh, you're so sweet.
No, she's lovely.
I'm a lucky man.
A very lucky man. And blessed, I would say.
Yes, very blessed.
Yes, very blessed. So do you want to continue, elaborate on that?
Elaborate on
Now you have to
Buddy
say
said.
that I'm cute.
well, he's awfully cute.
He's very cute. Really, really. He just took his spectacles off, and now I can see his eyes, and indeed, he is cute.
So would you like me to elaborate on our careers or on how we came to South Africa?
Whatever, but mostly, how did the collaboration happen?
Buddy was a former student of Professor Moore's, a voice student at SMU. So we've had a long relationship with Professor Moore and her husband, Lee. And Barbara's been coming to South Africa doing a program like this for years and years and finding very talented singers from all over South Africa that she has brought back to Dallas, to the university, where they have gotten advanced degrees in vocal performance and different things, and then have in turn gone back to South Africa and have become professors in a lot of the big universities, vocal departments. Many of her students have become very famous. John Holiday and different South Africans that are working in the U.S. still. So she's, I think, in total brought like 28 singers from South Africa on full scholarship to SMU. She has had a long interest in promoting South African singers.
Yes, she's a senior associate dean.
Yes.
And
of Southern Methodist University.
Distinguished professor of voice.
Yes.
So what better voice trainer do you need?
Yes.
And yesterday we saw the show and we were blown away. Well, I personally was, by the amazing vocal talent.
It's gorgeous.
Collective and solo. They were both excellent. Some South Africans, some American.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry that they are just busy going to go on stage. So they're preparing to get on stage.
Well, Jabulo, who played Judd yesterday when you saw, is a former student of Professor Moore's at SMU. And now I believe he's head of the voice department of music at Nelson Mandela University.
And I will certainly catch him for a later chat. But what she also said is that she has taken South Africans, and I was really, really touched by that.
Yes.
The fact that she comes and she explores and she takes people who show promise.
Yeah.
And she takes them with her.
Yes. And Avuya, who plays Ann Eller.
Ann Eller is a student.
Is a South African student that has now graduated in an advanced program from SMU also. It's been a great collaboration Professor Moore has done with the Americans and the South Africans.
Yes.
The program is a combination of musical theater workshop and human rights study. So the kids from SMU in Dallas have a professor in human rights that travels also, and they do a whole human rights course. So it's a summer school program for those students from SMU, and it's a regular semester program for the students from NMU, because they're still in school. So part of our challenge has been directing and choreographing Oklahoma around everybody writing their final exams.
Writing final exams, rehearsing for Hairspray.
Yes.
It's happening this year.
Yes.
Here at the Savoy. And I just want to say here that we have a lot of background noise. We have a door slamming here and there. We have people chatting in the background.
Excited to see Oklahoma.
It's so exciting that people are here early to help push chairs around and usher and do stuff. And then also, of course, to come and see the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now what I want to know from the two of you, I'll start with you, Gail, is how did you ever get into the performing arts? Because you didn't wake up one day when, like when you're 3 or 4 years old and say, I am going to be...
Well, honestly, I practically did, because my sisters had a dance school, and instead of getting a babysitter for me, they were much, much older than I was. I would just sit on the stairs and watch classes when I was about 2. So I started dance when I was 2 years old and have never stopped, really.
Okay, so the thing is, you couldn't escape.
No, I did not.
Because it was in the family.
I've taken it to a much bigger level.
Yes.
But yes, that's what got me started.
It's in your genes.
Maybe so.
Literally. In your little jeans you wore when you were 2.
Yes, so I trained as a dancer, classical ballet, and also tap and all the other forms of dance. And then went to SMU and graduated with a BFA in dance. And then I immediately moved to New York. And we did, before that, during our college years in the summer, we did a lot of summer stock, which was like 5 to 7 shows a summer. So we had a lot lot of experience when we got to New York. When I moved to New York, I went to my first audition, which was a Broadway cattle call, and I walked in and I got the job. And there was, I don't know how many hundreds of kids, auditioning. And so my first audition I got, and it was Music Man with Dick Van Dyke, and it ended on Broadway.
And it must have been such an exciting thing to act with Dick Van Dyke.
Yes, it was wonderful.
Yes.
It was a great show, great production.
And Michael Kidd, who was a legend as a choreographer and director. And so he did the movie Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. So
and Guys and Dolls.
And Guys and Dolls. And so working with him
All the big ones.
was very exciting. And then from there, I just did a lot. I did quite a few Broadway shows, working with Bob Fosse and a lot of the legendary choreographers, Susan Stroman. I did one fast job as a Rockette, so that was fun at Radio City Music Hall. Yeah, and then I started getting into choreography with Freckle-Faced Strawberry, and also at my school.
How did you manage to have 2 kids?
In between all that. In between all that.
I wouldn't be surprised if one of them was born on stage.
Well, our daughter was dancing it with New York City Ballet for a while.
Okay, so they couldn't escape either.
You're right.
And what about you, buddy? How did you get into acting? Because, guys have to get a real job.
Yes.
That's what their fathers and grandpas tell them.
Yes. Gail's father certainly told me that. Like, after, we did a Broadway show together, and I was singing symphony concerts, and we were always kind of scrounging for money, even though we were working at the top of the profession. He was always saying, when are you going to get a real job? And fortunately, I was able to use experience as an actor and theater, and I started producing a lot of corporate meetings. And in fact, we've been in South Africa once before because I was working on a big corporate meeting for Deloitte Global Partners in Cape Town in 2007. And I said to Gail, when am I ever going to work in Africa again? Not thinking this would ever happen. And
here we are.
So she came.
Yes, I never.
Yes. She came, and we enjoyed South Africa then, and we went and did some safari rides, and we're certainly happy to be back.
What I want to know is, you were not a little boy of 3.
No.
Deciding, I'm going to be an actor.
No. I thought I would be a lawyer and go into politics, and I started singing, in junior high and high school, and that's kind of how it happened. Is Texas is a big singing place. There's a lot of great singing in churches and schools, and there's a lot of opportunity for young people to perform. Not unlike the opportunity I see here, very similar. And everywhere there's small communities. And so Gail and I would say we had both had a lot of opportunity to perform as kids without thinking it was going to be necessarily a career.
Yes, because so many children, and I say kids because sometimes they're primary school kids on my show, and they say that the grandma told them, come and sing in the church choir.
Yes.
Sunday school choir.
Yes. Exactly.
And
that's how it started.
Yes. That is how.
Yes.
Exactly
and
that.
I need to say that amidst all the background noises, backstage noises, we persevered. And I want to say to everybody, watch this space, because this is collaboration between NMU and SMU, and that is Southern Methodist University, Dallas, Texas, USA, is never going to end.
Yes.
It's continuing, and I want to say watch this space, because I am going to be interviewing some of the cast of Oklahoma in weeks to come, and you will hear them as well.
Terrific.
So and we hope to be back.
Yeah.
And when you're back, please seek me out.
All right.
The big noises are starting, so we have to say goodbye. So thank you so much, buddy.
Yes.
Crutchfield and Gail Pennington. Crutchfield.
Yes.
I am an admirer. Until next time, I have to say goodbye. Marianah Lourens from Arts and Entertainment. Ja, Marianah Lourens met Kuns en Vermaak. Wat nou groet. Arrivederci.